Remember when this was the best delivery method for music? Remember when this was the best delivery method for supplements? Every industry evolves and improves with new breakthroughs in science and technology. Here at Numi, we've used a proprietary technology to solve an issue that's been around since nutritional supplementation began: the problem of absorption. So many of today's supplements are less effective due to their inability to be absorbed naturally by the body. Using our own proprietary hydrostat nano delivery breakthrough, we reduce the particle size of critical nutrients smaller than ever before, allowing them to absorb in your mouth while swishing for 30 seconds or more. Glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. It's responsible for boosting your energy, detoxifying cells, reducing inflammation, and boosting the immune system. If glutathione is so amazing, why have you never heard of it? Because glutathione is extremely fragile, and if taken orally, it will be destroyed via the digestive process, rendering it virtually useless to the body. Until now, NutraSwish applies nanotechnology to achieve maximum absorption. Now, glutathione and other nutrients can be absorbed simply and quickly by swishing in the mouth instead of being destroyed in the stomach. Using this same nanotechnology, we've created the ultimate skincare product, Numi Skin. We've been able to achieve unparalleled absorption for key ingredients, including collagen, hyaluronic acid, and more. Some of the top skin experts in the world work together to create the ultimate blend of skin-enhancing nanonutrients, creating the most amazing before and after results. With our nano solution, you no longer have to wait months to experience the effects of skincare and supplementation. Our customers are noticing a difference within a matter of days. Don't wait to look, feel, and live your best life. A new you starts with Numi.
Hi, welcome back to another Dr. Shanté video. This video is basically sharing what I do for general health maintenance. Well, in addition to just eating healthy, I take supplements. I take them habitually. The first supplement on the list is a multivitamin. A good multivitamin from A to zinc. That is what I take. I take it in the form of a hair, skin, and nail vitamin, but a multivitamin is suffice. The next thing is I take omega-3. I don't do the fish oil cap. I do this in a liquid because this is one of the 3 macronutrients that we need, right? We need carbohydrates, proteins, fatty acids. Okay, that's how I do that. In addition to taking a probiotic, I take prebiotics. I may take the prebiotics more frequently than the probiotics, and I can go over later the why to that. And I also take digestive enzymes. Those are the main things I take. Additional supplements that I take a superfood powder, and I have this much of water inside of the bottle before I put like 1 or 2 teaspoons of that powder in there. I'll make a separate video talking about it because it has so much benefit, but this is also something that I use on a daily basis. The definition of a holistic view is that all aspects of people's needs, psychological, physical, and social, should be taken into account and seen as a whole. Holistic relationships is leading the charge in sparking real conversations that transcend the ordinary, aiming not only to explore life's intricate facets, but also to inspire positive change and cultivate better approaches to every topic we touch. In the realm of love and relationships, marriage and divorce, parenting struggles and single parenting triumphs, toxic relationships, and the liberating journey out of codependency. Our goal is crystal clear. We are architects of change, crafting blueprints for better, more holistic relationships that stand the test of time. This isn't just a show or a podcast, it is a movement. Each episode is an invitation to recalibrate your perspective, to rethink conventional norms, and to embark on a journey towards a more fulfilling life. From the nuanced dance of co-parenting to the empowering pursuit of self-confidence, we are here to guide you towards positive transformation, empowerment of self and others, setting goals, building legacies, and collecting fortune with purpose. Holistic relationships is more than a show, it's a philosophy. We navigate the complex terrain of aging gracefully and achieving optimal health and weight loss, shedding light on compatibility in relationships and imparting wisdom on the art of dating and courtship. Join us as we forge a community committed to positive change, where every conversation is a catalyst for growth, every revelation is a step towards understanding, and every piece of advice is a key to unlocking a more holistic and fulfilling life. Welcome to Holistic Relationships, where the pursuit of better, more meaningful connections begin, and positive change is not just encouraged, but celebrated. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome back to Holistic Relationships. Today's Holistic Relationships topic. Ladies, are we thick or fat? That's the name of it. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine today, and I was saying, I've really been working on getting myself losing weight in a way that is organic and natural so that I can get to a normal BMI. What is BMI? BMI stands for body mass index. And I think that we should really look into when we look at ourselves. Use some kind of clinical based model to determine what kind of weight we want to be. A lot of times we determine the weight we're going to be based on what we think a social norm is or was, or at least I remember when I was growing up, or at least most of my life. I've been a little over 100 pounds. I hover between 115 to 126 for many years. It took a while to get into the 130 land. And if I look at an old driver's license, it says 138 or something like that from my real teeny tiny days when I was real thin. And I did enjoy being thin, but it was always this thing, part of our culture, especially Black culture, where if you had big thighs and a big booty and things like that, that was what was desired by the men. It was an exotic look that women, especially the culture, the generation started to go for. And now we've gotten so far, the bigger it is, the thicker it is, it's more sexy, it's more desirable, and it's gone so far with it that now I don't think that we are considering or conscious of, I don't think they're conscious of it, considering, are they healthy? Are you a walking heart attack waiting to happen while you're trying to look in a physical way, look a certain way, and have people want to look like you? Or, I mean, are you healthy? And I think that's what it is. So I would really like to encourage women to think about, like, what is your BMI? Focus on a weight, because it's a range. And since it's a range, there's an idea in your mind that you would like yourself to be in. Why not find a healthy balance? Why not find a healthy balance between a healthy BMI for you so that you can have a better quality of life, and then at the same time and look the way you want to look? Why not choose the way you want to be, not based on what you're thinking is the desired body type, but based on how you're built, and then decide within that range what would you like to be as a goal or a target for yourself. I think that should be the approach, but always base it around your health. It's not about living forever. It's about, as we're aging, are you aging gracefully? Or are you one aging prematurely, or aging bad, or aging in a way where it's going to be critical, where you're going to be crippled or incapacitated or disabled, or whatever that you're doing to yourself by carrying on those extra pounds. So, are we thick or are we fat? And if you do your height and weight check and look at the BMI chart for yourself, especially for your gender, when you match it up, if it says overweight, then clinically you're overweight. Even if you look well, I mean, you're like a biscuit away going into obese land from being clinically obese. We're not supposed to be big people walking around. And I think the more that we see bigger people walking around, it's becoming normal in our eyes that people are supposed to be that big. It used to be just an anomaly. And then you're thinking maybe, oh, it runs in my family. Nah, there's such a thing called gluttony. And then when there's not enough activity being kept up to keep up the weight, and then there's a poor diet where you're just gaining more pounds, gaining. But a little bit of self-control, self-discipline, you can achieve something that is healthy for you. Let's look at what's healthy for us. Let's not be a walking heart attack because we won't stop eating. And then you got people that's saying, oh, I don't like my weight. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't like anything that's going to put your life in danger. Our bodies, this is the only body you get in life. This is the only vessel you get to live and navigate through this thing we call life. You should want to look your best, being your best self, but it requires for us to do the work. It requires us to do the work. And we got to stop thinking that if we're bigger, it's okay, but if you fall on a fire, no one's going to be able to help get you up. And then you may not be able to get you up. So somebody else has to throw their back out to get you off the ground. How did we let ourselves go? And then convince ourselves that it's perfectly fine to be that way. It's not. It's a health crisis. It is a health crisis, and it should be taken seriously. So, ladies, first things first. You're starting medication that you never thought that you would need in life. Knees starting to hurt, things starting to ache. All right, let's start you losing some weight. Let's create a plan. to lose the weight. And just Google BMI, a body mass index chart for women, and then Google body mass index chart for the men. Get on a scale, take a note of your current weight, look at your height, measure in that range to see where you fall. There are some men that don't want to lose weight because they want to look buff and they want to look like, and then they run a chance of having sleep apnea. All of these unattractive traits where you may sound like you can't breathe, or you will be out of breath and not be able to lift or do anything because of wanting to look a certain way. Let's stop trying to look a certain way and let's be healthy for our weight. Be healthy. That's, we don't have to be buff. It may not work for you. Maybe, sometimes people try to be bigger because they felt insecure about being thin their whole lives. But if that's your natural build, learn to love it. Learn to love yourself enough to be your natural build, to be you. Because now you're putting yourself at risk to look a certain way. Well, yeah, I like the way it looks on somebody else. But what's for you is for you. And okay, you can gain a little weight to be, love buff. Okay, but can you at least do it healthy? So that you don't become the burden on your family members or your children because of a distorted viewpoint of the way that you should look. You're free to do that. My suggestion is to find a healthy balance. Find a healthy balance between looking the way you want to look, and then maybe sometimes looking the way you want to look doesn't require you to actually be heavier. Maybe you can gain and then muscle mass and not gaining fat mass. That's possible. Maybe you can just gain it in muscle and just don't gain any more fat. Because then you get the muscle and the fat, and then there's an overshoot over the target. So let's just have a new campaign, I heard, a new thing, a new challenge where we're just going for healthy weights. Let's just go for that and try to look how we can look within a weight that's going to be clinically healthy for us. Choosing a weight that will be clinically healthy for you. You can't change our heights, right? So we've already been predetermined as far as our heights, but you can control your weight, and you control how you look as far as how you distribute your weight on you. That's something you can control. So making those steps first, deciding what's going to be a healthy weight versus what's going to be a normal BMI range. And it'll never just be one solid number. It's going to be a range. So if you want to be on the heavier side of the range, you want to be a little thicker, okay. But don't put yourself at risk by going into overweight, because then after overweight, it never stops. And then you're one value meal, one Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts purchase away from obesity. And over time, the strain that obesity, being in an overweight and obese categories of the body mass index, what it does to the musculoskeletal system, now you're not able to get around this. And now your bones and your joints are taking on compounded weight. And it is only a matter of time before it gives out, before an ankle gives out, before a knee replacement surgery is needed, before those things are needed. Only because the weight wasn't dropped effectively and sustained. So in my journey, I noticed that even though I was like 150, I started noticing when I was in the 150, 155 area, and it looked good. Don't get me wrong. And I would get into a dress, and I'm like, oh, I've never seen me this curvy, curvaceous, not me. It's not so bad. Well, it put me in an overweight category for my BMI. And I said, wow, I don't want to be clinically overweight. Let me do something about this. And I said to myself, let me get back to this particular weight where I really like a certain weight. Because it's like, when you get older, that weight stick a little. When I was younger, I couldn't hate it to gain any weight. I was so thin. I went up in years, and then after children, the weight, it didn't fall off that quickly. So I had to be a little bit more conscious and more accountable for what I was putting in my mouth, what I was eating, what my diet was like. And so in that time, I got on a scale. I weighed myself. And when I saw that it was at 148, I was like, hallelujah. I have been trying to get down a lower weight because now it put me in a normal BMI, probably on a higher end, but now I can walk into somewhere in the middle. It kind of looked the same, I think, but maybe the jeans fit a little looser. But I think that for this part of my life, I want to be in a healthy weight. Normal BMI. And I think that the weight that I chose, let me see, I'm 5'5.5". I'm not quite 5'6", even if I look it. It's just my build. Look, my build makes me look like I'm tall. And I like to wear heels. So the fact that I wear heels, I look more slender with my weight. So I would suggest, what I was saying was that I like the weight of 145 was a really nice target. 140 isn't that bad, but I hover between 145 to 148 because remember, it's never going to be static. It's not going to just be right there and it's not going to do that. Permanent like that, or in that sense. Because we're always eating, we're eliminating, we're a little more bloated at sometimes, we may have a little bit more water weight at other times. It's a number. Just like how our blood pressure is a living organism and it's never the same throughout the day. It moves based on what's going on with us. And it's the same thing when it comes to our weight. It's the same thing. And so what I encourage everyone just to look at your charts, see where you fall, and be self-aware. Be aware of what your height and weight is. Be aware of it. So when you do that, now you can just work towards a healthy weight, a healthy BMI, and if you look thick, be healthy thick. Be what 20 years ago we used to call skinny thick. A little thickness to you. If that's what you desire. It's not for everyone. And who says every man cares? Well, put to the ladies I'm talking to. Who cares? I mean, who says that every man cares about big thighs and a big butt? Some men are like, man, I mean, it's cool. Some men, they prefer it. That's what they're all about. But be you, the most authentic you that you can be, and then see who likes you for you. As you are, the way that you present. Love on you, and someone will love what you are because you love who you are. They'll notice. They'll take notice of it. Yes. So, just as a recap of everything, be you. Go towards a healthy weight. If you like being the skinny or the smaller person or smaller in stature person, if you like that, don't be afraid to like it. Don't think that a cultural norm or leaning toward all this big booty stuff. Don't let that override what you may feel that you like for you. So if you want to be smaller in stature, like I'm somebody that wants to be smaller in stature, actually. I've had the opportunity to get big. I've seen that. I saw that. I'm good. I like the idea of being smaller in stature. So some of you don't be afraid to be smaller in stature. I didn't know that doesn't play it out. I didn't know that play out. When did being small play out? I didn't know that. I didn't get that memo. I mean, it needs to be brought back because I certainly didn't know that it was playing out. There's nothing wrong to be a normal human being walking around of a normal weight, small in stature, because there are some people who are naturally big bone, naturally they just have mass. That's just part of their build. They're part of their original stature, and that's fine too. That's why it's important to be okay with who you are, because the more you're trying to be bigger or this and that, ends up being this thing where you're not even healthy. And now you got all these extra issues and problems, and then you're stiff and this, and you're not stretching, and you're not doing this and you're doing that because you're carrying a weight because you want to look a certain way, but it's not functional. It's not something that's going to work with you. So aim for the healthiest weight and balance that off with how you desire to wear. Because I don't want you to just walk around thinking that but if you can't be that big bootied or big breasted, small in the waist, if that's not who you are, that is okay. I guarantee you, someone will love you for who and what you are. But first, you will have to do it. You got to do it. And determine how you are going to look and what your own goals are. Work towards it. Be consistent. Be accountable. And achieve your goals for how you want to look physically. But while you're doing it, make this the new thing that you find the balance between looking the way you want to look and being the healthiest you that you can be while doing so. Because I see two wins there. When you're looking the way you want to look, plus you're being the healthiest version of yourself, you won twice. You won twice. So rather than having this whole thing that I'm thick and actually you're fat, you're actually clinically obese and overweight. Don't be that person. It doesn't make you any more desirable. The more that I listen to men, so I'm gonna talk to ladies about this because I was talking to them originally, and I kind of went off to talk a little bit with men too, and then so come on back. But the ladies, just think about this, especially if you are still a childbearing age or you still desire to have children. Men are looking at that. They looking at that 20, 30 pound gain that you're going to have if you were to get knocked up. How are you going to look 20 pounds heavier? Especially if it's not all in the belly. Because of pregnancy, it could be where it's all over or it's just in the belly. No way to know that. So the next thing what did I want to say? Just keeping that in mind. For the ladies that know that, hey, I have children already, I ain't even thinking about having no more children. You're good. You're not thinking about having any more children. You're okay. All right. It's okay. So for you, your case, what would you want all that extra thickness for? Still trying to lock down a husband? Trust me, he's thinking about that too. Not the good weight gain from pregnancy, but just weight gain over the years in general, because we get a little complacent and you get a little comfortable. Maybe you're getting a little extra bloated here. Maybe you like to go to dinner a lot and eat a lot. You like the pastries, and then you just enjoy eating. And then let's say you get injured or you're sick and then you can't be physically active. You may have a limp going on and no ability to keep the weight off, to get it off or keep it off. And then you're now unattractive. And let's keep it real. That matters. It matters. It matters to both men and women. But as much as we like to be these people that's like, oh no, it's what's in the heart. No. Because to get physical, there needs to be a physical attraction. And if you're not looking the way that they liked you when they approached you or when they pursued you, if you're not looking that way, you're going to cause some problems in the sex department. That's just the way that it is. And it goes both ways, for men and women. But there are more men out here, as we can see. There are men where they're really trying to get a hold of that handle and take care of their physical appearance. And then you got some women that are just walking around just acting like they should be loved anyway for being obese. Some men that like big women, they like them big. But the majority don't. And rather than sitting with a self-deception that you're thick, that you're actually obese, don't lie to yourself. Tell yourself the truth. Look in the mirror. Get in the mirror naked. Look at you. Look at you. It's a humbling experience. Now, you don't have to be an hourglass. Come on, just be you. Be your build. But be healthy you and build. That's all they're saying. The guy is saying. So I hope that this is helpful to everyone. I hope it's encouraging to people and that people are inspired by it, and just start there. I certainly have things that can help in that department to help you to get your way there. One of the last things I want to say on the topic when I talk about my own journey is that I had to figure out how to get that weight off, to get to a healthy BMI naturally. You hear me? Naturally. Meaning I didn't go to the gym. I wasn't working out. I had to figure out, how do I get my weight down? Because what if something happened and I can't work out? I didn't want to lean on it and be that thing. How can I do this in my habitual way of being, in my daily habits, my daily diet? How do I do that? So that I can maintain a healthy weight. Because when you go hard working out, and you may achieve it, you get to your goals from working out all great, but guess what? The minute you stop working out and you haven't changed your daily habits, you haven't changed your diet, the way you eat, the minute you stop working out or slow down, well, Well then, there it is. Here comes the weight coming back, because it will, and with a vengeance. Because you lost it as a result of that external thing with the physical activity. Realistically, we don't work out every day. Not realistic. And I knew that. That's why I didn't want that to be the main catalyst for me losing the weight. So that's why I had to figure some, so yeah, I think that's it. I just want to say that when you're thinking about this, thinking about doing this, get your weight off, get to a healthy BMI through your daily habits, through a diet and regimen that you can adopt that will support you, your natural build. And then that way, if you are in the workouts, and I would still recommend, encourage that you do, but you don't have to be excessive with it where you're stressing yourself out, both mentally and physically, trying to lose the weight and trying to look a certain way. A 90-day practice of health in a different way can make the difference, will make the difference. A 90-day practice. And that's what we want to aim for, because I think that's something that people should aim for. 90 days of new habits to support a healthy weight, a normal BMI. Pick the number that you want to see yourself in that range based on how tall you are, and go from there. Get to the weight through your diet and your daily habits. With your water intake before you start the extra running and cardio. Before you do that, drop 10 pounds without the workout. And then add the workout. But just to jump and start working out without changing what's going into your mouth, without changing the diet, without that, that's going to be a waste of time. And the minute you stop working out, you're going to revert back to where you were before you started working out. So that's just a little food for thought. That's it. Let's remember to ask ourselves, are we thick or fat? I appreciate this time with you all today for this holistic relationships topic. Are we thick or are we fat? I definitely welcome commentary. I welcome opinions. I welcome other perspectives. If there was an angle at this, and I know that there's so many different angles of why people are the way that they are. And I know in another show that I talked about some of the challenges that people have. So in no way, if you're just seeing this broadcast alone and probably in the delivery, am I dismissive of some of the other reasons. It's just probably in a different show. But this one is designed in a way to say, hey, we really got to think about that question. Have these conversations, because remember, this is a platform that's a ministry, it's a guide, it's something to be here to give advice to the people who come after us. So yeah, we're helping each other in all of this, but really to help the young people and the people behind us too, and coming with these answers, these solutions to have better, more fulfilling lives, better relationship dynamics. And that's really it. That's what this is all about. So again, I thank you guys for supporting the platform. I thank you for your engagement, your participation. As always, I appreciate it all. And that's it for this holistic relationship. I will see you all at the next show. Until next time.